here we've got one of our gold boxes. Maybe because it's gold, there's something very valuable inside. There could be a parable inside. They're very valuable. They're even more valuable than gold. This box also has a lid on it. Sometimes it's like our parable has its doors shut tight and you can't get inside, even if you're ready. I don't know why, it just happens. So don't get discouraged. Just keep coming back to the parable again and again. One day, that parable will open up for you. This box kind of looks like a present, too. You know, there could be a parable inside this box because we were given parables as a present. They were given to us even before we were born. They're almost 2,000 years old. Should we look inside and see if there really is a parable in here? Wonder what this could be. It's really big. It's brown. It's kind of scratchy. There's no blue on it. There's no green on it. I don't know what it could be. Wonder if there's anything in here that can help us. Well, that is really long. It could be a crack, like it's splitting this in two. Could be a muddy river going through a desert, maybe. Maybe this is a belt, and these are the clothes that it gets wrapped around. I don't know. Let's see if there's something else that can help us. Oh, this helps me figure it out. This is a city. And this is a city. So what do you think you go between to get to the cities? I think it's a road. Let's see. We've got two more things. They're very black. Have no idea what they are, do you? They could be holes, tar pits, shadows. I don't know. Let's see if there's anything else that can help us figure it out. These guys actually go behind there. Now, there was once someone who did such amazing things and said such wonderful things that people followed him everywhere. And when they followed him, he would speak of many things. And sometimes the people even asked him questions. And one day there was a person who asked him what the most important thing in life was. And the person he asked said, "Well, you already know." And the man said, "That is true, I do. It is to love God and to love people just like they are your neighbors." And the person paused a while and he thought, and he asked another question, "But who is my neighbor?" And then that person who the question was asked of, he started to tell this story or parable. He said, there was once a man who went from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and along his way there, he was attacked by two robbers who had been laying in wait behind two large boulders. And they beat him up, and they hurt him, and they took his clothes, and they took all of his money, and they left him on the side of the road, half dead. Now there was also a great priest, and he was on his way down the road from Jerusalem to Jericho. And when he came upon the man on the side of the road who was hurt, he went to the other side so as not to get involved, and he kept going down on his way. Now there was also another man who was on the road going from Jerusalem to Jericho. And he was a man who worked at the temple. He helped the priests, and he took care of the temple, and he helped with the music, and he was called a Levite. Now, as he was walking along the road, when he came to the place where the man had been injured and was half dead, he also walked to the other side and kept on his way. Now there was a third person who was on that road, and he did not live in Jerusalem. He was visiting from another country called Samaria. Now the Samaritans did not like the people in Jerusalem, and the people in Jerusalem did not like the Samaritans. But even so, when that stranger was walking down the road and came to the place where the man was lying on the side of the road, the stranger picked him up and put medicine on his wounds and gave him a blanket and a coat to wear and put him on his horse and took him to a place to spend the night. And that stranger even stayed with him all night to make sure that he was okay. And in the morning, he gave the innkeeper enough money for him to stay there until he was well. Now I wonder, in that story, who was the neighbor? Was the neighbor one of the robbers? Or maybe the priest who worked in the temple? Or maybe it was the Levite who helped the priest in the temple? Or was it maybe the Samaritan who helped the injured man? I guess really any of these could have been the neighbor, depending on what action they took. If they had decided to help or hurt the man, or help each other. That's a lot to think about. That's the parable of the Good Samaritan, the man from Samaria.